Hello and welcome to Rise Above the Grind. I am your hostess, the consultress, bringing you thought leaders in this cutting edge age of disruption where we're creating new solutions to old problems and maybe even some new problems. Right now, in this age of disconnection, Graham's point of view about creating good content that connects who you are with what you do is absolutely necessary. So I'm so looking forward to the conversation with you today, Graham. Welcome to the show.
I'm super excited to be here. I love what you got going on here and how we have this cross section here and the grind and like doing away with that. So I'm super pumped, super pumped.
Love it, love it. So do away with the grind. So let's get your
Yeah.
definition. How does that word show up for you? Give us like how you think about the grind.
Oh man, yeah. So I mean, what I see a lot conversations that I have with a lot of people is that is like grinding. There's such in the world that I help a lot of people with, there's that like hustle culture, and it's just like more, like more is like the key term that I hear a lot of people, and it's like, oh, I got to do more to do this, or I got to post more to get more clients, or I got to take on more of whatever, and like that if you're just doing more just because that doesn't necessarily move the needle. You have to, if you're going to do more, it has to be done in the right way, and you have to be at the right spot to do that. And so like, yeah, I just think there's a lot of just hustling just to hustle, and I've been there, and it is like it does not work.
I know it's
So
exhausting, man.
oh,
So like
so exhausting.
part of what I'm hearing here is like that more, more, more. It feels like greed, man. It feels like
Yes.
it's not this greed from this place of like mine, 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 gimme, 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 maybe. But it
It
also
is.
is, I feel pressure to do more everywhere. Like I am having a song right now. It's like more, more, more. And like, no,
Yeah.
man, less, less,
Seriously.
less. Because when you know what works, you can do more of the right things without having to do more all across the board and get minimal results in a bunch of different places. So it
Hmm.
sounds like you're helping people go from that feeling of I'm not doing enough and I have to do more everywhere without that specific really alignment as to why and what they want from that. So, how do you pay that forward in your work?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the big things is like a lot of these online places and advice out there is like based on that more like post more content, get more clients, and like that's a lot. And so I've been able to dial in the processes like you're saying to like kind of be able to still show up but in a more authentic way that actually works, kind of gives some breathing room to still have this piece of your business running, which is like content, visibility, awareness, which then gives that breathing room to like focus on other things. Like, I mean, we've got two other great individuals here in the room right now, and like if they can realize that they can take a step off of like this awareness visibility piece while still having it work, there's other areas that they can work in, you know what I mean, which can move the needle. And one of the big things that paying it forward that I mean, I've just been excited to talk about this a little bit, is so I have this program, and I was able to run a scholarship like opportunity this past month, and we're getting kicked off, and it's just something that, because like I've been in that place before where like you're doing everything, and it's like past month I was like, you know what? How can I give that opportunity to someone who might not be in that space right now to like delegate and like have our team come in and do a bunch of stuff, but like I can I did this scholarship play and was able to give back to someone, and it was really cool. And so then I got some other people in on like half, and now we've got this like thing that we're doing, and
Oh,
it was just
I
really cool.
I hear generosity in this business
Yeah.
model. Yeah, we just went from greed to generosity. And I also heard a little bit of like, there is something to be said for consistency in your content,
Hmm.
consistency in your visibility, and being in your branding and marketing space, you know, all visibility is not good visibility, because what I'm hearing is not all of it converts to the right type of clients. Not all of it converts to people coming through. As you know, we have a VIP panel that we'll take behind closed doors here
Hmm.
after broadcast, but where we will workshop, how does that show up in your sales funnel? How does that show
Right.
up in your culture? And by the way, if you want to be a guest here in our VIP panel, please send a DM to the Consultress either on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, because we want more of these in-depth conversations inside the room where it happens. So send me a DM if you want to be considered to be part of our VIP panel. And being visible in the right places now, Graham, like you're solving a problem for people. So tell me a little
Hmm.
bit about the more greed, exhaustion, visibility, that the place where you're finding people. If you have a case study or a client
Yeah.
story that where so you took someone from mess to success in terms of doing less but being more powerful and intentional in their marketing because of what you were able to produce, can you
Yeah.
tell us that client story?
Yeah, most definitely. So just recently revamped my community, and this kind of case study is one of my like entries into this lately. And so like I had this one client who, when you grow online, it's an online business, and there's just like so many different platforms and like so many different like softwares and like different things, and like you think
Man,
that you need all these different things, like because it's like I said, my key term that I run into a lot is more. It's just like, oh, you need this thing, oh, you need this thing, oh, you need... And so they came to me with all that, and we condensed it all down into like a singular focus, put it all under one roof, dialed back their content, got in their messaging clearer, got a process to actually get that content to work. And she launched her new program, or new like offer that we kind of helped dial in, because content is really tied a lot to the offer, because that's where the visibility and what we're talking about goes in hand. And so within that first month, she was able to completely sell it out because of this, made an extra 20K. She was actually working part time in her business. She quit her full time job, went full time into the business, and now, like, using these processes, is now full time in her like online business. So,
yeah.
and that's not like posting content all day long. It's just like having the right things, do the right things,
In the
and
right
move the...
places.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I've learned the 4 P's of marketing from way back when: product, price, place, and promotion. So what
Mm,
you promote and where you put it are just as important as the product you're delivering and the
so
price
key.
point. So
100%.
what I guess, inquiring minds want to know, Graham, like, did you walk this road? Did you get stuck in the more trap in your business? And like kind of let us in a little bit. How did
Yeah.
you kind of, because it seems like you're paying it forward. So like bring us
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's where a lot of this came from, is like I was stuck in that. I took all that advice and like was like, "Oh, we gonna do more, like gonna get more clients." And like I was posting 5 times a day and like creating all that content and like doing all this stuff, and it worked for like a little while, but like I was just so drained, and like then eventually, because of that, like things started suffering, and then the more of all this stuff stopped working, and I was doing all this more, and I wasn't getting more of the clients, and like now I was just doing things just to do things, and like the business was suffering, and like it
You
just
were
was
exhausted.
a
Like it
lot.
sounds like you hit the same wall you're helping other people to overcome. So like, ladies and germs, this is not about do as I say, not as I do. Graham's
It,
giving wisdom from the road traveled and helping other people maybe avoid some of the same mistakes. So, like when
yes.
you were in the thick of it, the belly of the beast, you got some results, and then you did the more. And what was that like? Bottom
Yeah.
out. What was that situation where you realized I got to do this differently? Where was your like aha?
Yeah.
Where did that come
That
from?
that's a great question. I would say it came to a point where like I had had this like dry spell, and like, bills were coming due, and like, and I was operating from that place of anxiety, and like all,
Mm,
like it was just like when you operate from that place, like all you're doing is perpetuating that even forward. And like, I'm grateful that I have been given the tools to kind of like be able to see when, like, just in my life through like, through I'm 8 years sober, and so like through some of that process I've learned to like start to see when those things come up. And so like after 2 to 3 months of like going down that road, I'm like, okay, like we need to not do this anymore, because
Yeah.
when you operate from gratitude, like that is a much, like you can, it perpetuates more gratitude. But when you're operating from anxiety, it perpetuates more anxiety. And so
Hmm.
I'm grateful that I was able to see that, and it just was like, okay, we need to strip everything. Like I just stripped everything. I did have a lot of data at that point though, because of I had done so much, and so I was able to take all that data and be like, okay, if I readjust this here, what's the least amount that I can do and still get the visibility? What's the next step that I basically just rebuilt it up to like the bare minimum that I needed to still get results. And then that was like the process that I moved forward. And it's crazy because then I felt good about it. It was
Yeah.
from a place of passion. And then I signed like 4 clients in like a week after I like relaunched this new thing. I'm like, you know what I mean? So it shows that when you operate from that place of connection and alignment, it really does work.
Yeah. And what I loved about hearing, I was 2, 3 months, like literally just doing everything, and I just saw that the results weren't pouring in, and I had to reassess. Like you had a
Hmm.
moment where you're like, okay, where does my supply curve meet the demand curve?
Right.
Where is what I'm doing actually effective? And let's meet that point. Let's not exceed that point. And let's
Mhm.
not go for 100 million times
Yep.
effort. We're going for the viable
Right.
cross section of what do I need to do to create results, and let's dial it. Like it's a fine-tuned point. So when
It,
people are looking for advice in any kind of discipline, in any kind of growth curve, what you're looking for is the ability to know how much to do and where to put it, so that it's not like throwing spaghetti at the wall.
right.
That's my grandmother. That's a terrible way to test
Yeah.
pasta.
Yeah.
But you need to know exactly when you've got that right mix of what you're doing and where you're putting it, so that
Hmm.
you're not exhausting yourself, because
Right.
time is our limited resource. Our attention is a limited resource. And in today's day and age, where everything can be done in an instant, where you can use AI to spin up virtually anything,
Hmm.
when you are throwing all that spaghetti at all these different walls, you're just creating a mess. So,
Exactly.
Graham, this conversation has been so powerful. Where can people go to find more and connect with you?
Yeah, most definitely. So my Instagram is a good place. It's at Valued Productions. And then I also have a free community, the Freedom Legacy Tribe. I'm on school. I can give the links to that. It's actually, I did link it. Freedomlegacytribe.com is the link to the free community. I got a bunch of resources in there for free. Other entrepreneurs like looking to learn about this, and
I'm in
so yeah,
it.
yes, yes,
Yeah. Right on. And what I love is, it's not just what you do, it's who you do it with. So like you're banging the drum
that's
out here of like more is not more. Let's do what you can to be who you are, so that you're not depleted and you're not a mindless drone out there just spinning up crap and throwing it and making mess on other people's walls. I love this. We are the community rising above what we define
yes.
as the grind. When you're on purpose and grinding because you're obsessed, like that's true learning, but it's not a state of being. As Graham has said, when you operate from lack, when you operate from anxiety, the results you produce are more of that. So I really
Hmm.
hope that you have gotten a nugget of wisdom here. Please do apply to be in our VIP panel behind this closed door. And in the meantime, if you are streaming this on a platform, don't go away. We have another guest lined up for you right after this. Stay tuned.